Hello everyone, I am Rahul, and this story is about my Meteor, which has been my companion for past 2 years. Well, where should I start? It is never easy to say goodbye to someone we love, especially a bike, which has been an important part of our lives. Saying goodbye can be a difficult and emotional experience, but it's important to remember all the wonderful memories shared together. Before the goodbye, let me take you to the beginning where all of it started. 21st July 2021. What a beautiful day that was. The day I brought you home. Before that, I was just an ordinary guy traveling in the HRTCs every day to work. It was love at first sight, you know. I did not even look or considered other bike before buying my Meteor. And वो कहते हैं ना, जब मिडिल क्लास लड़का अपने सपनों की लिस्ट बनाता है, उसमें एक नाम रॉयल एनफील्ड का भी ज़रूर होता है. And to be honest, I have always been a fan of Royal Enfield since childhood. When I was 8 years old, my uncle took me on his beautiful red-colored Royal Enfield Bullet. I sat on the tank of that bike and I still remember the joy that bike gave me. I remember only 1 or 2 images of that moment, but it was a moment that made me decide that someday I too will buy a Royal Enfield and drive a Royal Enfield in the same red color. And when the Meteor launched, I fell in love with this bike. I raised some of my savings and took a loan for some part, and finally, it was a dream come true. I was so happy that time I couldn't sleep for a few days. So let's now talk about why I went for Meteor that time. Being newly launched in market, it was powered by a newly developed 349cc fuel-injected single-cylinder engine that produces 20.2 horsepower at 6,100 rpm and 27 Nm at 4,000 rpm. Unlike this bike, Classic 350 Reborn was not launched at that time, and the old Classic had some flaws. With all respect to Classic 350, although those flaws are nothing in front of the feel and riding experience it gives, by the name it gives you that classic and royal feel. And believe me, there is no other bike in market that gives you this feel. Let's shift the focus to our Meteor. At that time, Meteor 350 came with a newly developed engine with no vibrations, dual channel ABS in typical cruiser fashion. Where the foot pegs are forward set, the handlebar is pulled back slightly while the seat is wide and well cushioned. It is built to cover long distances and the ergonomics reflect that. Despite knowing the road traffic conditions in Shimla, where you have to filter out through everything, whether it's road, traffic, people and even dogs. It was a tough decision. And I must say, it wasn't the easiest thing ever being with you, and also it was the easiest thing ever being with you. Let me explain both the aspect. First of all, those fully synthetic oil changes every 5,000 kilometers due to riding it on hilly areas and countless chain sprays instead of old oil. Countless time washing it, countless time protecting bike from rain and hailstorm. Secondly, it is much more than just a Royal Enfield Meteor to me. People ask me, and many can relate with me, that what is this obsession of you for this piece of metal? My reply to them always will be, but seriously, I say it is not a piece of metal. This is happiness. Happiness is a motorcycle, a full tank of petrol and twisty roads. And my bike served the purpose. 30,000 kilometers in just 1 year and 10 months. You deserve credit for being the true athlete you are. My bike never gave me a single problem throughout these 30,000 kilometers, and it did nothing to disappoint me. Since you guys are like a family to me, this bike helped me to reach out to you. Without her, all of this wouldn't have possible. It was such a big deal for me to buy this bike at that time that I decided to start my channel to document the beginnings of our time together. So I bought my GoPro Hero 9 on EMIs for the purpose of motovlogging. And this is where I got my motivation from my idol to continuously ride and upload daily observations on this channel. His name is Anurag. He is a wonderful, down-to-earth and a very humble person. He is a genius. The day I saw his video, I was so mesmerized that I binge-watched all his videos. For me, he is an inspiration. Although I haven't talked about him in my previous videos, but today I want to say, if I ever meet him in person, I will thank him for motivating me and being the inspiration. Thank you so much, Anurag. Guys, I strongly recommend to watch his videos on YouTube. Okay, so talking about my YouTube journey, it has been so fantastic so far. You guys know me from this bike, and all the credit of my YouTube journey goes to her. From being in the situation where only 10 minutes were left for exam and the girl reached on time for exam to the situation where I had to protect a dog from getting rammed that was running behind the bus for almost 2 kilometers. This bike was there. From protecting me in situation where people are overtaking wrongly, in situation where people are clueless on how to use indicators, and in situation where help was needed, this bike was there. It doesn't complain so much and it performs amazingly on such bad roads, despite it is a cruiser bike. Whether it was traffic conditions where you have to deal situation like traffic coming from opposite side or you have to filter out through this traffic, Meteor performed effortlessly. And considering the purpose for which it was launched by Royal Enfield, cruising with comfort, yes, it gives you the super comfy ride on highways where you can go easily up to 70 km per hour without any hassle. Now talking about the most difficult part. By the time this video is published, I only have 1 week left with my Meteor. 4th of May will be the day it will go to her new home, and that will be probably my last ride. She is the bike which is more than Meteor to me. I bought it with the thinking that this will be my last bike I will ever buy, and bought it with the thinking that this will be my bike for life. And believe me, so far I feel the same. I am well aware of the fact that many of you are big fan of Royal Enfield and my Meteor too. But it makes me very sad to say that after few videos there will be no Meteor content on my channel. And Anurag rightly said, our brain weirdly gets used to things that give us the dopamine we crave for. And after doing it over and over again, we eventually normalize it to the point where we crave for more. And this is like we feel moving on. Unfortunately, I am at that point of my life where I can't collect the bikes. And believe me, at this moment, while I am telling you all of this to you, I am still not sure why I am doing this. Considering my pocket, I can't afford 2 bikes at the same time. Currently, a single bike is about as much as I can deal with in terms of riding them and taking good care of it. So that's my decision. Believe me, it's very tough for me to part ways with her. Unfortunately, with the limitation placed upon me by real life, I can't afford to keep 2 bikes at the same time. I hope you all understand, and I thank you each and everyone for your support. At this point, I would like to thank my Meteor, who has helped me become a better rider over the past 30,000 kilometers. There is a certain pleasure in periodically maintaining your bike yourself. Simple things like greasing, cleaning out spark plugs, or cleaning and oiling the chain, and then observing differences it makes on the road. The simple act of cleaning out and lubing the chain itself makes a great difference. Getting your hands a little dirty is fun, and I always recommend that every rider know at least a few basic repair skills. My Meteor helped me in fulfilling all the dreams a rider would wish for, from riding solo to explore a new place, new roads, and meet new people, to ride with your fellow riders on Sunday rides. Whenever I take my Meteor for a ride or daily commute, she gives me the feeling of riding with pride. My Meteor not only met the expectations but exceeded them. Coming days, another bike will occupy the sacred space in the garage. More trips will be made, more places will be visited, and many more miles will unwind in the rear view mirrors. Another relationship will be forged. I guess in the end, it's not just the bike, it's the ride that makes the magic. And it's the magic that makes riding an unforgettable act of spirit and passion. Goodbye, my Meteor. It's been a hell of a ride. So guys, फाइनली अपनी मीटियोर जा रही है अपने न्यू होम। वाओ बुरा लग रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा। चलो क्या कर सकते हैं।